Praise be Jesus Christ. I want to do a live stream in the next little while for the young men who feel called to taking some time alone in the wilderness this year for 2025. You know, I'm challenging the young men, follow the example of the Lord Jesus who went into the desert, or St. John the Baptist, St. Anthony, St. Francis, and so on. Plan, prepare, be prudent, be wise. But if you hear the call, follow it. So a lot of young men, they do want to get out into the wilderness this year and have some time in solitude. But a lot of you have questions about doing your wilderness solitude retreat. So I want to do a live stream. I want to answer your questions. So go ahead, put your questions in the comments so that when I do the live stream, I can have some questions to start with, and then if I get through them, I can maybe try to read some of the questions coming in the live chat. But I'd love to answer your questions about feeling the call and responding to the call to being alone with Lord in the wilderness. You know, the challenge I put out is 72 hours, 3 days, no technology. You can send I'm still a live text once a day to your family if you want, but that's the challenge. So this wisdom, obviously, this challenge is based on the example of the Lord Jesus, so many of the saints, but also the Desert Fathers. Now I want to read to you a snapshot of Desert Father wisdom, Desert Father sayings from the alphabetical collection of the sayings of the Desert Fathers. I want to read to you the sayings of the Desert Father Abba Hyperechius. Okay. So here's a snapshot. It's incomplete, and you see how it's rough. You know, it's real, it's kind of gritty, but here is an example of his sayings. Fasting is a check against sin for the monk. He who discards it is like a rampaging stallion. He who does not control his tongue when he is angry will not control his passions either. It is better to eat meat and drink wine and not eat the flesh of one's brethren through slander. It was through whispering that the serpent drove Eve out of paradise. So he who speaks against his neighbor will be like the serpent. For he corrupts the soul of him who listens to him, and he does not save his own soul. Amongst treasure is voluntary poverty. Lay up treasure in heaven, brother, for there are the ages of quiet and bliss without end. Let your thoughts be ever in the kingdom of heaven, and soon you will possess it as a heritage. Obedience is the best ornament of the monk. He who has acquired it will be heard by God, and he will stand beside the crucified with confidence, for the crucified Lord became obedient unto death. And from today's gospel, from Mark chapter 6, after saying farewell to them, he went up on the mountain to pray. Viva Christore!